Hey, frustration, what's up? It's the Culture Detective here investigating your favorite albums, and today yesterday I was gonna do an album review on Nas, King's Disease, but I just can't do it because I just wasn't in the right mood to do anything yesterday. It's a little better today, but I still feel pretty bad. Today instead I am going to do an album review on the latest Market album, Yui. Market, Yui. This is a very obscure album. Almost no one on earth has ever heard of it. And in Spotify, their number of plays in the songs on this album are lower than 1,000, and it means it can go anywhere from single digit to 999. Nobody knows. And the reason why I know about this album is because another British YouTuber called Not Real Music did a very positive review on this album, and I thought I should check it out myself. Spoiler alert, I actually didn't watch his video. I saw the score, and then I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm listening to the album no matter what he says. And to my surprise, it's a really, really lovely album. Absolutely underrated and overlooked. Market, this is their sophomore album, I believe, and the music they make is indie rock, psychedelic rock, and that's pretty much just it. Now, they have a lot of influences here and there, but they utilize these influences really, really well. And there are also a couple of interludes on this album, which I'm not that crazy about. They're basically noise, maybe some demo-ish guitar leads, and that's it. But the rest of the album is actually pretty good. First of all, we have the album opener, Communicator 1, and the second track, Communicator 2, and both of these tracks are amazing. The opener starts off with these very lonesome guitars with a very odd chord progression, which has this very, very nice feel to it. The vibrating vocals give off a very memorable shimmery effect, and the chord progression is simultaneously nostalgic, dreary, but also innocent. There is I won't say cinematic, but when it quiets down, it doesn't get stale. You're sort of stuck with the chords on this track because it feels like it really puts you in a certain mood, in an atmosphere. And for the second track, it's also really, really great. It's summery, almost shoegazy to a certain extent. We get a female vocalist duetting with the vocalist of the band, and the duet is pretty nice. And the vocals sort of drag along, but again, in a very gorgeous fashion. Also, there are some chord changes during the verses, which fits really well and doesn't feel jarring at all. And then we have the track Panic, which is just okay. It's easily the slowest track on the entire album, also the quietest track. And even though I think with very shimmery, dreamy chord progressions, a slow song could be amazing. But it doesn't really work out on this track. There isn't much in terms of progression or dynamic on this track. However, the fourth track, Always Wanna Be Around, is definitely a highlight on the album. This track is this vintage style Beatles-esque psychedelic rock track where the rhythm and the keys and the chord progression, they constantly change and evolve, and it's really, really entertaining. And the melodies of this track has a loony, crazy feel to it, and it's a lot of fun, and it's definitely one of the most memorable tracks on the album, if not the most memorable. The track Jessie is also just okay. We are given a really nice bed of strings and synths right off the bat, and then it sort of breaks down into this very cumbersome and slow instrumentals. However, I think the verses and the choruses on this track are a little bit weak. It's like Car Seat Headrests, Twin Fantasy. Like, this track could end up in Twin Fantasy anywhere, except I guess it's weaker than any of the songs off of Twin Fantasy. However, the pace picks back up again with Shake My Head, which is absolutely fantastic in my opinion. It's very straightforward, it's very fun, it has a slow celebratory vibe to it. The hooks and the choruses are very catchy. We have another guest vocalist on the track, and she contributes pretty well onto the track as well. I really love the pop punk vibe of the track. This track is like a pop punk song, but softened. And I really love the chorus. Da-na-na, da-na-na, shake my head, do my bed. Anyways, the track Bessie is it's like Jessie, but with a B. Bessie, it's a slow song, but this time the dreamy and psychedelic chord progressions really help this slow song to become somewhat gorgeous and pretty. And the track 23 started off with a sea of synths, which is just okay. But later on, we get these energetic, scratchy guitars, the very quick drums, which then slows down to some really consistent 4/4 drums. And also these muffled vocals, which sounds very energetic and young, and also very interesting as well. And the album ends off with Bioluminescent Bay, which is not a very satisfying ending in my opinion. The verses and the choruses, they sound pretty similar to one another. The chord progressions are a little gloomy, but they also sound kind of aimless and directionless. But still, regardless, I think this is one of the most overlooked album of the year so far, because damn, I enjoyed a majority of the songs on this album, and ooh, what the heck. Yeah, I think this band has a lot of potential, and I like this album. I think it's great. My favorite track here is Always Wanna Be Around or Shake My Head, and my least favorite is Panic I Am Giving. Markets Yui, a strong 7 to a light 8 out of 10. Okay, so before I stop this video, I would also like to talk a little bit about Nas' latest album, King's Disease. I originally wanted to do a full review on it. Where is the thing? There we go. I originally wanted to do a full review on it. As you can see, I wrote the song titles. I was gonna write down, oh, Nasir, the Kanye project in 2018, Illmatic, great album. But I didn't at the end because I wasn't in the mood, and I don't want to. So you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna make a very short review on it, say a couple things about it. First of all, it's not bad at all. It's better than Nasir in my opinion. The production is actually really solid on this album. The soulful samples are always really good, even though it's nothing all that groundbreaking or anything. The track with Anderson .Paak is really heartwarming, even though it's not really one of the best tracks ever. My favorite track on the album is 10 Points. I really love the instrumentals on this thing. It's simple but really effective. And I also like Car 85. And that's all. Some tracks are very lame. Nas tries to appeal to, more modern audiences, like that track with Don Toliver, Till the Wars One. Is it that track? Till the Wars One is also not a very good song anyways. So yeah, favorite track is 10 Points. I'm giving Nas King's Disease a light 7 out of 10. So have you listened to Nas King's Disease? From 1 to 10, how much you rate it? Like and subscribe if you want more. And thanks for watching.